One of the most ambitious mod projects I've ever seen, Fallout London, got even more ambitious considering that they've now released downloadable content. Rabbat Pork is the latest release from the folks at Team Folon, adding a plethora of new updates to the game. And I was fortunate enough to be able to catch up with Dean Carter, or Prilladog, to ask some questions about what we can expect for this new DLC, the future DLCs in the horizon for Fallout London, and the team's plans going forward. To start off, Rabbat Pork is the latest released DLC for Fallout London, being an incredibly expensive add-on to an already expensive mod.
So I will preface that it's a DLC mostly in name, but it also, because it does add new content and stuff like that, but it is mostly the stuff that, if I'm being completely honest, it was the things that didn't make it into the original release. Because I don't know how much you know about the history, which was we actually had someone that was caught up in the Ukraine-Russian war. So obviously modding isn't primary concern for them. So we ended up having to cut quite a lot of content because they were the lead scripter at the time. Mm-hmm. So a lot of that is we've just played catch up now. So obviously we've been doing all the bug fixes, but then we were actually able to put in some of this new content that we wanted to at release. And Fallout London is, I think, at release, it was larger than the base game. So you basically have two games in one, and the load times I think were quite good considering what we had done with the engine. And in this recent DLC update, due to some fantastic people, they've actually managed to help us integrate a system that makes them even faster that should work on newer PCs. So yeah, so it's got a lot of new content, and that's gonna be good for people to play. But DLC is like a sort of loose term. But even then, I still think that add-ons to an original game is something that hasn't really happened before, for sure.
As a quick run through of the new content, Rabbat Pork will add on 30 new quests, 30 new weapons and armour, a new animal companion, new player home, 80 new fully voiced NPCs, 1,000 bug fixes and improvements, and to get you in the mood for Fallout New Vegas in Fallout Season 2, gambling. Cut content or DLC aside, it is pretty amazing that an entire game-sized mod or Fallout 4 has the willpower and energy to create an entire DLC worth of new content for players. And the best part is that unlike most DLCs, it's completely free. Not only that, but Rabbat Pork is not the only planned DLC for release for Fallout London. Although the release date for these is unconfirmed at the time of recording, 2 new DLCs are planned on the horizon.
And then we've got Last Orders, which is just some of the periphery quests, which would have took too much time to have put in for the original release. So Last Orders is more just like another add-on. You should have another companion, and it should have some more quests in it.
Following Last Orders, the final planned DLC will be Wildcard.
Wildcard will mostly include the Vagabond storyline, because at the moment is sort of you get the speech at the end and then it cuts. Yep. Whereas this will allow basically a wildcard ending that incorporates the Vagabonds and the Underdogs into the other factions more to round it all up.
The DLCs will, however, be the last entry for Team Folon, with the group officially transitioning from a modding team into a fully fledged indie game studio. And while committed to the release of the DLCs, the team did also feel it important to note.
But there might be the reality where, you know, we do move on as a company and we have to divide that division of labor for those DLCs just to like a couple of people on the team. Or it might even end up going back to the community because the framework is there. It's just we might also not be able to. That was something that we had the realization of, because when you start operating as your own entity, you can't really mod because then you are blurring the lines between the two. So there might be a reality where we do have to then be like, right, we draw a line in the sand of Rabbat Pork. But we haven't had any movement on that. So the plan is to still do the other 2 DLCs. Fallout London has been my lifeblood for several years. I would love to have it in the exact vision that I wanted, where we can then, you know, put the final full stop in and be like, done.
For Team Folon, the new indie game studio will focus on their own original title, which will be unconnected to Fallout.
We are in active development of basically just a very small indie game. We're quite blessed with the fact that we have access to talk to a lot of people in the industry now. And we basically pitched them an idea of we want to do Fallout London 2.0. It's not going to be in London, but it would be like another large scale mod. and they were like, you'll just collapse, don't do that, like you need to do something small, start off. And we're like, okay, so we do something small, indie. So that's why we're gonna, our next release is gonna be something completely off the cuff that people will be like, why did they make this? But it's mostly just so we can learn a new engine to test ourselves and just create something that's completely our own. And then we're going to take that skill set and move into a much larger video game that we all want to make that's more akin to what we've done before.
And as part of this, the team have launched a Kickstarter with a two-tiered purpose. The Collector's Edition via Kickstarter allows fans of the mod to obtain custom Fallout London merchandise on a scaling price tier. As a quick showcase of each tier, the Vagabond, consisting of custom playing cards of characters from Fallout London, very similar to the original New Vegas player card deck. The Cultist, including the playing cards and a cute Cthulhu doll, because who says Lovecraftian terrors can't be cute? The Commuter, which includes the playing cards, cute Cthulhu, and custom relics of post-war London, including tickets and bottle caps. The Gentry, consisting of the previous mentioned items, plus the game manual of concept art and design work from Fallout London. And finally, the Wayfarer, combining all previous items with a branded canvas bag. Ultimately, the goal for the Kickstarter is to fund the next game for Team Folon's new studio. And while I hope this video hasn't seemed like a plug for the crew, I really do want to emphasize the importance of helping to contribute to an independent game studio, such as the team's. Fallout London was a labour of love, made for we Fallout fans without any expectation of remuneration, applause or praise, simply for the joy of expanding Fallout, in a time where the series had honestly kinda stagnated. The fact that even for their fundraiser, the team want to be able to give back to the community with custom made merch is honestly astounding. So if you have the capacity, I encourage you to have a look for yourself and place an order. Christmas is right around the corner, and every child dreams of having their own plush toy of an eldritch horror like Cthulhu. In closing, if you've not yet downloaded the DLC, or even the Fallout London mod, please do so. You honestly won't regret it. It's been one of the best entries to Fallout that I've seen in quite a long time. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.